Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title of this video, just wanted to put out a bit of a reaction video to the Champions League match between Chelsea and Manchester City, which happened yesterday. And of course, Chelsea unfortunately lost 2-0. Now, if you're not new to my channel and you see some of my videos, then maybe by now you've been able to tell that I am a Chelsea fan. I like to post about different players and different topics on this channel, but at the end of the day, I support Chelsea. And so yesterday's match versus Manchester City was a massive disappointment to me. And so I just wanted to give a bit of a reaction because really, honestly, more like I need a space to vent. I think that sometimes it feels like because Chelsea has been winning so many titles and so many domestic titles and domestic trophies for so many years that people have used that as an excuse to not criticize the way the team has played. And it's been a frustration for me because I feel like it makes me look like this negative fan if I want to critique the way they play, or it makes me look like I have too many high standards because we're undefeated. So I should just be happy that the team is undefeated. But to be honest, I've been quite frustrated with the way this Chelsea team has played for a few years now. And, I find that the fans tend to get a bit sensitive or defensive when people bring up the fact that the team has done well because of really star quality individual players, right? Like in terms of like looking and gelling as a team, I feel like there are many games where just Chelsea just doesn't look good. Like I don't know how else to put it. They have been winning. They have been winning. They only lost their first game this season under Sonny Bonpastor for the first time yesterday, and yet there have been so many games where it just looked like they didn't look good. They were winning ugly, right? And because they were winning, well, that's it. We shouldn't criticize them because they're winning. Or if you see rival fans talk about Chelsea playing really ugly football or playing football that doesn't look good, what do we say? As Chelsea fans, if you're a Chelsea fan, what's the response? We've won what, 5 league titles in a row. We won multiple league cups, multiple FA Cups. So we don't care if you think our football is ugly because we're winning. But I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't care about the league anymore. Sorry, maybe no. I shouldn't say I don't care about the league. I will always care about the league, but they've done it. I just said it. We've won multiple league cups, multiple FA Cups, multiple league titles. We've done it. There's nothing new there. All of these signings that we've been doing, spending all of this money on players, breaking records to bring in Myra, breaking records to bring in Germa, all of this money we've been spending has not been to win the WSL, right? Because we've already been winning the WSL. Clearly, and the players have been open about it, Sonny has been open about it, and quite frankly, the fans have been honest about it. We want Champions League. That is the one trophy that this team has not won. So every year when the team keeps getting better and rival fans keep saying, oh, you guys are greedy, this, and that, it's because we want Champions League. It's because we haven't been able to win that. And so I'm just feeling really frustrated because despite all of these signings, yesterday was the same old frustration. This team, look, I get why people get defensive and sensitive when Chelsea is constantly described as playing ugly, whereas like Arsenal and Manchester City is described as playing beautiful football. I'm just going to come out there and say, I think that's crap. I think it's crap. I think it's people who are focused in on Chelsea because Chelsea has won so much. And there's an expectation that comes from being a team that's as dominant as it is, right? You look at Barcelona, they're so dominant, and yet they also play pretty attractive football. I would say the same with Lyon, right? They're very dominant in France, and they also play a type of football that everyone likes to watch. And so there's an expectation that comes with being a team that's won 5 titles in a row. There's an expectation in how the team's going to look on the pitch. And when you don't see that, I understand why people criticize that. With that being said, I don't think Arsenal is out there playing beautiful football. I don't think City is out. City in particular, a lot of fans and media really love talking about how beautiful the football is that City plays. I'm just going to say this now. If you are 8 points behind first place, double digits for City's case. I think City is what, 12 points, maybe 14 points behind Chelsea in the league. You don't get to be that far behind first playing beautiful football. Like, I'm just, if you disagree with me, argue with a wall. I'm sorry, but like, you don't go from match day 1 to match day 17, 16, wherever we are now, be 8 points, 10 points, 12 points behind first, and think you've been playing beautiful football week in, week out. You haven't. Like, newsflash, you haven't. You've clearly not been playing beautiful football, because that's why you're so far outside of first. So I just want to put that out there. I also don't think that every game that Chelsea plays is ugly, terrible football. Chelsea actually looks okay when they play mid to low table teams. But a lot of people who aren't Chelsea fans don't tune into those games. They tune into the games when Chelsea plays City, or when Chelsea plays Arsenal, or when Chelsea's in Champions League. And for me, and maybe this is me being really negative because I'm still upset about this Champions League loss, but for me, whenever Chelsea plays top teams, we don't look good. Like, I always feel like we look like the worst team on the pitch. There's been a couple of games. There are a couple of games here and there where I will say, no, we looked better. I think Arsenal game last year at the Bridge when we won 3-1, Chelsea looked like the better team. I would say against Manchester City in the earlier part of this season where they won 2-0 at the Bridge, even though Manchester City had a lot of possession, they did nothing with it. And I think tactically, Chelsea set up really well there. I'm going to get to the decisions that Sonia made during this Champions League game, but I just want to say, like, there have been a handful of games where I think Chelsea have looked pretty good against other top teams. But for the most part, I just feel like we often look like the worst of the two teams, even when we win. We may be getting wins, but we don't look good. That's exactly how I felt with the Subway Cup final. We took an early lead, so naturally City is going to press, right? They need to equalize, so they are going to put more pressure. But like, we just didn't even look good. We could barely keep possession, and there are so many teams that go up, take a lead, and they keep the pressure on. They don't just immediately look like they can't complete a pass anymore. But with Chelsea, we take a lead, in the Subway Cup. We took a 2-0 lead versus Arsenal in the early part of the season, and then we suddenly stop. It's like we stop playing altogether and just invite all of this pressure. And so for me, I knew this Champions League loss was coming, because there's only so many times you can play a top team, be the worst of the two out there, and scrape by on a win, especially when you have the injuries that Chelsea have. And no, I'm not ignoring the fact that City didn't also have injuries, but Chelsea have not been able to replace the goal scoring that came with Sam Kerr and Guru Reiten, the two of them together, but in particular, Sam Kerr. I know they've missed her for over a year, and people love to talk about Myra. I love Myra Ramirez. Obviously, I'm a big supporter of Myra Ramirez, but she does not have the scoring output that Sam Kerr has. Like, I find that the media, I don't know, I get it. Like, Myra is, she's physically imposing. She has the speed. She has the strength. She's okay at passing and setting up teammates and all of it. She likes to actually play like that. She likes to be on the wing, drive down the wing, pass it, even though you want her to sort of stay in the middle most of the time. Like, I get why there's this allure around Myra Ramirez of being this like great figure, but there's way too many media pundits who keep saying like Chelsea aren't even missing Sam Kerr. And I don't know if there was an article or a report that came out saying, I think it was Izzy Christensen that said she doesn't know if Sam Kerr is going to get back into the lineup because of Myra. Like, if Sam Kerr is not going to get back into the lineup, it's because her fitness. It's because she's still recovering from her ACL. If Sam Kerr is fit, and even if she is like 80% of the Sam Kerr that we know, she gets in that lineup because Sam Kerr has the smarts. She has the pitch smarts to know where to run, to get the ball. She knows how to maneuver her body shape, angle herself. She knows when to make a chip versus round the keeper. Like, she's a perfect goal scorer. And Chelsea has absolutely been missing that. And even though you'll look at the stats and you'll see that we've been scoring a lot, but it's been coming from by committee. It's been coming from different players here and there. But when it comes to these big type of games where there's more pressure on you, it's not going to be as easy to score. And that's where you really need to rely on your star strikers. And Chelsea is suffering. Like, I made a video earlier a few months ago about JRK, Yo-Yo, Johanna Rittenkannerud. Like, she was my best player back in that month. I feel like it was November when I put that video out. I was loving how she looks. And I feel like I cursed her. Genuinely, I think I may have cursed her because I put that video out and she's just, she's like plummeted since that game. Like, no confidence in from the fans, from myself, that she's going to score. I know it's in her head. And the fact that she didn't start today says something. Okay, can we talk about this lineup decision? I don't understand. Okay, Guro is out. Like, Guro is unavailable. That is just the truth. But the first Manchester City game of the season in October or whenever it is, I think that Chelsea, despite not having the possession and knowing that Manchester City wants to keep possession, I think Chelsea tactically played it perfectly. Like, they were like, okay, you want to have the possession, you keep the possession. We're going to press you. We're going to pressure you. We're not going to make it comfortable. Micah was on Yui Hasegawa that whole game. Yui couldn't breathe. Like, that was the perfect way to play against a team you know is going to have the majority of the possession. And so, is it not, like, is it rocket science not to go with what worked? Like, I get that Katarina Macario Cat was unavailable in that first City game, and Lauren James was unavailable in that first City game. So the players that Sonia had to use, she was sort of forced to use them. But it worked. It worked. Fast forward to the League Cup game, and you could see we weren't as impressive. Yes, we took an early lead. Yes, City pressured us because they needed an equalizer, but we did not look as good. Then we talk about this Champions League game. You need to start Micah. I'm sorry. Like, you need to start Micah. You watch every game that Micah plays and she gives you something different. I'm actually going to be making a video. I don't want to make promises, but I want to make a video about Lauren James versus Katarina Macario versus Micah Amano in that central midfielder position, because Micah gives you something different. She allows you to press. Like, she is a live wire. She's constantly moving. She's constantly putting pressure on that back line, which is what worked in that first City game. Kat does not play like that. Like, she tries. Like, she runs a little, but it's not the same. It's not the same. So suddenly there's less of a barrier to get by that first line of defense, which is like Myra and Micah. Like, it's easy to get past them. And then once you pass them, we're on the back foot, and City is coming at us. And I mentioned Guro before. That first City game also had Guro. So you had Micah in the middle and you had Guro right, and who were both pressing. And then you have Johanna Rittenkannerud, who also is pretty good at the press. Yesterday's game, you replace Micah and Guro with Kat and LJ. Again, I'm a Chelsea fan. I love all the Chelsea players. I love all my Chelsea players. I love Lauren James. I have a Chelsea kit in my room. It's got James on the back. But she's not giving you the type of press that Guro is going to give you, and that Micah is going to give you. Like, Guro and Micah are pressing much better than LJ and Kat. And so you have these players up top who are kind of slow. They just play differently. Micah stays up, trying to win the ball back in our half. Kat, in that first half of yesterday's Champions League game, Kat and LJ constantly dropping back to get the ball from our defenders and start the attack from there. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But different opponents call for different strategies. And I don't think that's the strategy against City, a team that dominates possession. You want to try and stop them when they're still in their half of the pitch. If you're constantly trying to drop back and just collect the ball there and not put a lot of pressure on them, you're playing into their hands. You're making things more comfortable for them. And it's not like Kat is some maestro defender. So it's like if she's dropping back, it's not helping us that much, especially when Micah and Captain, I'll talk about Captain, but they have a little bit more energy. Sonia has said in post games that when she wants energy, she'll look at Micah, she'll look at Captain. Kat's not really giving you that. She has other skill sets. She does. But in a game like today, I don't think she was the right call, and she made a couple of bad passes in the end of that first half. Just passed it to the other team. Just in the middle of the pitch, no less. Like not like she was making an error that took the ball out of bounds. She was making errors that was sending the ball into the middle of the pitch that Manchester City was collecting. So I wasn't surprised that she got subbed off, but she wasn't the right call. It needed to be Micah Hamano. And when you have someone like Micah out there, then it's okay if you have LJ, because like you need to start LJ, like especially with no Guro, you have to start Lauren James. If you have Micah in the middle, then even though LJ is not as good at the press, at least you have Micah, right? But when you have Kat and LJ, it's not good enough. It's not good enough for a team like City who can dominate the possession. And so that was the massive frustration for me with this lineup choice. The other lineup choice that really annoyed me, which some people may disagree with, because I've seen a lot of people say that this is the player of the season, not just for Chelsea, but for the league, and that is Sandy Baltimore. I am a fan of Sandy Baltimore. I like Baltimore. And I think there are certain games where she really shines. And I think this wasn't one of those games. And I don't think she particularly shone in the League Cup final as well. It's two straight games in which Niamh Charles did not start. And in this game, in the Champions League game, Niamh didn't even come off the bench. And I don't understand this. Like Sandy Baltimore, I understand that she's a natural left footer, and maybe that's why you want her out there, but she's not a natural left back, right? Like that is not her position. Has she done well in it? Sure. She's done well in it, but if you ask me, I think she's been put in that position because she hasn't. I haven't been super impressed with Sandy Baltimore's play when she plays on the left wing. I haven't. I've preferred Guro and I prefer LJ. I think that Sandy struggles to get by players, which I think it's just in general is hard to get by players, but too many times she just loses it too easily. And so anyways, all that to say is I understand why she's been being used at left back, because there are other players who are better at left wing than her. But to me, this game needed Niamh Charles. I don't think Sandy was good on the weekend, and I don't know why she didn't deserve to start again. Like she wasn't that good in the weekend. She kept losing the ball. She kept holding on to it too long. I think you needed Niamh Charles out there, and you needed to start Micah Hamano. Those are the two big ones for me. So I think Sonia, I think she dropped the ball on that one, if I'm being completely honest. But anyways, look, this is what happened. The team lost. Now they got to go back to Stamford Bridge next week. They need to score at least 2 goals and not concede any, or they need to match. They need to match City by scoring more than 2 goals than them, so that they can take it to extra time. You know, best case scenario, Chelsea scores 3 goals in regulation time. They win 3-2, they win 3-2, and there you go. We don't need to worry about extra time. They can move on and face most likely Barcelona, which I don't have high hopes for Barcelona, but there's still another leg. It's not over yet, but I do think that there are some crucial changes that Sonia needs to make. I don't think she should put out that same lineup at all. I'm not even mad at Aggie starting instead of JRK. JRK has not been producing at the level you would want from your winger, and Aggie has been scoring. Like she has been scoring. That's a fact. And so I'm not even mad at that. And Aggie gave good energy. So I'm okay with that move. But I think that you can't start Kat. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you want to start Kat on the weekend so you can rest Micah for next Thursday, fine. But you need to start Micah Hamano. Like, this is a must. You need to start Micah and Captain. I said I was going to talk about Captain. She was not the right player to come on. Like, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if you're going to take Cat off, it needed to be Micah. Captain came on, and similar to Cat, she was passing the ball. She was passing the ball away, making errors, and she's young. I get it. Not only is she young, but she's not been getting like super consistent minutes. She's played a good amount, but not like consistently. It's very obvious that Erin Cuthbert and Tia Kanuskin are the preferred players, and then Kira Walsh came in. And so Capdine hasn't been playing like a lot of heavy minutes, and she's young and she's in a new league. So it makes sense that she's not quite ready yet. So why she was brought on, I don't know. I don't know what it is that Sonia doesn't see in Micah that everyone else can see, but that was a wrong call to bring in Capdine, but she did it. It is what it is. You move on to the next game. Please pick the right lineups. Like, I'm begging Sonia to like, please pick the right lineups. I also just want to quickly say that I think that it's time for Chelsea to start thinking about this style that they've been working with, that started with Emma and it's clearly continued with Sonia Bonpastor. And it's this sort of like, they're more transitional, hit teams on the counter when they're playing against top teams. When they're playing against low to mid-table teams, yes, Chelsea control. I don't care about those games against the low to mid-table teams. I care about how they look against the top teams, because that's what's going to win you Champions League. And as I said before, they often look like the worst team on the pitch when they play against top teams. Even when they win, they don't necessarily look super convincing. And I think you need to start looking convincing. When Lyon plays top teams, when they play Bayern, they look convincing. Barcelona plays top teams, they look convincing. Manchester City play us, they look more convincing than us. That doesn't make sense for a team that's won 5 league titles in a row. Like, I think that we've gotten too comfortable with the fact that we keep winning the league. And so what's working, what's the saying, whatever's not broken, don't fix it. I feel like we've been having this mentality that we keep winning the league, so we don't want to change anything up with the style. We just want to keep getting better players, right? Like, if we keep getting better players like a Band-Aid, that it'll magically fix things. It's not working. I feel like it's in the DNA of this team. I feel like we could take half of Barcelona's squad, put them on Chelsea, and we'd still lose to City yesterday. Like, I feel like there's something about Chelsea where we just are incapable of controlling a game against a top team. We sit back and we let them have all the control. And I think something needs to switch. Like, there needs to be a switch that's not just, let me just pay another $1 million to get another player. Like, I don't want to say enough with upgrading. You never want to, you can never go wrong with adding more players, but it's more than that. Like, please, if people understand what I'm saying, leave a comment, but it's more than just adding more good players. There's something about the way the team plays that it doesn't matter who's new you bring in, they still look the same. They still look subpar. They still have these ugly games. And I don't know, like, they need to change something. And if it means that they might struggle to adapt, I'm fine with that. If it means we can finally get to a point where we can look like the better team when we play these top teams. And again, I know it's not every game. I know not every game is an ugly win, but there are too many. And I think that's the reason why we keep struggling in Champions League, because I don't think you can win Champions League playing ugly every single time. You can maybe get one win. Like, you can maybe get one win, but I don't think you can win both legs in a semis and the quarters and then go into the final. I don't think so. At some point, you need to look like the better team out there if you want to get that Champions League trophy. And so something needs to change, and it can't just be, let me just keep signing these better players. It's something to do with the style of the play. That needs to be figured out. Hopefully that happens in the summer, but it's only March. Right now, next up is the league game. Obviously, Chelsea plays City again on Sunday. I think it's Sunday. We need Chelsea to do better in that game. I'm very curious to see what lineup Sonia uses. I'm a bit worried that if I see Micah and Neve starting in that game, that means they're not going to start on Thursday. I don't know. I hope Sonia is ready for it. I know she is. There's still a leg two. Let's see how it goes. But anyways, this was a huge ramble. I have no clue if anyone's going to watch this video. Probably not going to get any views. I don't care. This was more of like a diary to myself because I just felt like I really needed to vent because we've been undefeated. So I've been sort of like zipping my lips, not saying anything because we haven't lost, but I've been feeling this. This is not just because of today's loss. I've been feeling this way for a while. And so I wanted to come out. I wanted to come on here and I wanted to just vent. Anyways, that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.